Welcome to NPC Nationals Week at Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Tuesday, November 17th, 2015. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Coming off a career year that included 4 top 5 finishes and her second consecutive Olympia appearance, Wendy Fortino is already back to work. The rising figure sensation released some footage from a recent training session where we see her grinding out some grueling workouts here in the early phases of her off-season. Over the past 2 years, Fortino has been one of the most improved athletes in the entire figure division, turning into a legitimate threat each and every time she takes the stage. After knocking on the door on a few occasions this season, if she can make a few minor improvements heading into next year, it isn't too hard to imagine her locking up her first pro win sometime in 2016. As the old saying goes, those who fail to plan to fail. And a few weeks into his offseason, it looks like everything is going according to plan for Dusty Hanshaw. One of the hardest working men in bodybuilding released a few progress photos last week, showing off 284 pounds of nastiness. A few weeks ago, we saw a very impressive Hanshaw make his pro debut at the Phoenix Europa Pro, where he took home a very respectable 10th place finish in a surprisingly deep lineup. Hanshaw is a blue-collar bodybuilder that puts in the work and makes improvements each and every year. And now that he's finally gotten a taste of the pro stage, something tells me that these next few months he'll be working harder than ever to bring in a few new wrinkles for 2016. Improvement season is alive and well for our friend Delarosa. After competing in nearly every contest in 2014, this year was relatively quiet for the rising superstar, competing in only 3 events, but still managing to snag a win at the Chicago Pro. Delarosa was spotted in the gym grinding out a little bit of heavy chest work recently, as he prepares for a promising 2016 season. By and large, Delarosa is one of the most talented athletes competing today, and comes equipped with a tireless work ethic to boot. Up to this point in his career, we've seen him bring the house down at some of his biggest contests on the calendar, but he is still yet to deliver that one signature Olympia performance. But with a few long months to regroup and reformulate a plan of attack, fully expect to see the best Delarosa we've ever seen come next year. After taking the entire season off to pack on some quality size, it looks like Santi Aragon is nearly ready to hit the pro stage for the first time. Aragon earned his pro card at last year's NPC Nationals by dominating the welterweight class, where he was arguably the most conditioned athlete in the entire show. Recently, Aragon announced that he'll be making his pro debut at next year's Miami Pro, where the South Florida native will look to test his mettle against some of the 212's best. Even if he's not the biggest athlete in the lineup, Aragon's ability to get inside-out shredded is going to present some problems for the competition, and might just be enough to shake things up in the elite top 5. For everyone who thinks the words off-season are code for stuff your face with anything and everything until you turn into a miniature water buffalo, take a good look at new IFBB pro Thomas Lenihan. After knocking on the door at the top of the national level for the last few years, Lenihan finally broke through at this year's USA Championships, taking home top honors in the light heavyweight class. Late last week, Lenihan leaked some new progress photos, showing off a ridiculous level of off-season conditioning, along with nearly 20 pounds of new muscle. Many pegged Lenihan to be an immediate threat in the 212 division, but if he keeps growing at this rate, he might outgrow the division before he ever has a chance to step on stage. Although he hasn't released any official plans about what his intentions are for next season, wherever he finally lands, Thomas Lenihan is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. Check out ironmaglabs.com today. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passion. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Hey guys, it's Stevie B here. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button below and never miss another RX Muscle show, segment, or update. RX Muscle is #1. Woo!